Now hey everyone, if you followed my channel for any length of time, you know that we heat our house with a wood stove. And during the cold weather months like now, just about all of our baking is done with the wood stove as well. So like with everybody else, if you're going to burn wood, you're going to need a chimney. I share a lot of our building projects here on this channel, so needless to say, my inbox is always full of building questions. And lately there's been a lot of questions about chimneys. People ask my advice, what type of chimney do I prefer? Do I like a masonry chimney, or would I rather go with an insulated metalbestos type of chimney? Do I recommend going straight up through the roof or out through the wall? Well, since I've burned wood in every one of my homes throughout my lifetime, I've had experience with all types of chimneys. So today, I'm going to share my experiences with you, discuss the pros and cons of each type, and it'll give you something to think about for your own chimney installation. Sound good? Then let's begin. Over the years, you have watched me build the little backwoods cabin up in northern New York, which you all know and love, and you will be seeing more of that this coming spring. Then you watched me build a little workshop in the cabin yard. A few years later, you followed us back to New Hampshire, where I did a complete restoration on the old family homestead. You watched me take that down to bare bones, do a complete restoration inside and out, and brought the old place back to life. Then we built the little workshop there with the greenhouse attached. Then after that, you watched us build this workshop that I'm standing in now. Now all of these structures are heated with wood, and every one of these structures has a SELKIRK brand Metalbestos chimney for the wood stove. And my next build will have the same brand and type of chimney. I'm not saying that the SELKIRK brand is any better or any worse than any of the other brands. I have no experience with any of the other brands. I'm the type of person that has the if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality. And when I bought the SELKIRK chimney, it exceeded my expectations, so I stuck with it, and it's never failed me to this day. So I have no reason to seek out and experiment with other brands. Knowing that heat rises, a stovepipe running straight up through a roof-mounted chimney will generally draw better and require less maintenance than a pipe with horizontal runs in it. This is a plus. Another benefit of going straight up through a roof is that any soot or creosote that falls loose will fall directly into the firebox. This helps to prevent clogs that often occur when there's an elbow or a T in the pipe configuration. Cleaning your chimney can be an easy task when you have a shallow pitch to stand on. A steep pitch makes it much more difficult. A steep metal roof can be mission impossible for some folks, and you might have to hire someone. This is one of the advantages of using a through-the-wall kit. This chimney can be cleaned from the ground, and anyone can do it. Standing on the ground makes it a lot easier and safer to clean the chimney. Over the years I have used, I still use, and I still will use both types of installations in my building projects. Now even though going straight up may draw a little better and require a little less maintenance than going through the wall, there are several other factors to consider that will make me choose one over the other. They don't teach you this stuff when they're selling you chimney pipe, and a wrong decision can end up being a costly mistake. I have burned wood all my life, so what I have learned through my experiences. So today I'm going to share my experiences with you, and hopefully it'll help you make the right decision for your chimney installation. When going through a roof, I prefer to have a shingled roof for this application. The aluminum flange sold for this procedure is made for this procedure, so everything sits flat and sealed and performs as it should, and it stays that way. Putting a chimney through a metal roof will often offer questionable results. For example, go to Google Images, search chimney flange for metal roof, and you will find many undesirable applications. Any installations relying on gaskets and caulking compounds are a poor choice for longevity. Snow will slide from a metal roof, but sometimes it will hang there for days and then slip all at once. This avalanche can cause leaks and major upsets to a chimney if the builder put a chimney in its pathway. I wanted to put the wood stove in the back corner of the garage. That would leave me three choices for the chimney. One choice is to go straight up through the roof, and then I have to contend with all those avalanches banging against it, which is just a poor choice. I'd also have to come up and then have some angle braces going into the roof, which is more holes in the roof. That's not a chimney up there, that's a base for my cupola. My cupola is going to sit on that. The other choice would be to come through this corner and then go up, which is the worst choice there is because all those avalanches are going to come crashing down on it, and I don't need upsets with my chimney, especially when it's burning. So I went out the back wall, and that works out perfectly. So here it comes up, it's fastened to the overhang, everything is nice and sturdy, and it's out of harm's way when all of that snow comes crashing down. So on this through-the-wall kit here, just take out this little lever that keeps the plug in place. Now we're burning the stove 24 hours a day, so I like to come out here and check on this about once a month or so. And even though I take this cap off about once a month, it'll still kind of get glued in place. That creosote is very, very sticky. So I usually come out with a little bar. Just give it a little nudge around the lip. You see how much creosote come out of there? This building's well insulated, so we burn the stove real slow because otherwise it's just going to get too hot in there. So the slower it burns, the more creosote it creates, even though our wood is very, very seasoned. So here, as I reach in, I can feel there's a little bit of stuff in the horizontal pipe, but the pathway is clear. Let's take a little piece of rod. There's really nothing in there. Yeah, I reach up in this pipe and there's nothing in there. There's nothing stuck to the walls. And that's what I like about metalbestos. Masonry chimneys, that creosote tends to stick and stick hard. And it doesn't come off very easy. After the stove has been dormant through the summer months, and then you go to clean it in the fall, all that creosote dries and it falls right out. But during the season, when you go to clean your chimney, the masonry chimney, that stuff is really stuck on there. And I've never had that problem with the metalbestos. It just falls right out. So this is clean. I like it. I'll put the cap back on. Just put the cap back on so the handle faces like that. Slip that through and through that slot, and that cap is held in place. Now I already mentioned that the benefit of having your pipe go straight up through the roof is that when soot and creosote occasionally fall on its own, it just falls directly into the stove, which doesn't create any problem at all. But when you go through the wall, now you have a horizontal run and it's going to go up. And if creosote falls down, it'll start to collect here. And if you don't keep up with it from time to time, then it could block this pathway and then you're going to fill your house with smoke. But this is effortless for me to come out here about once a month, pop this cap off, and let all of that stuff fall to the ground. So by doing this simple action, I'm preventing the smoke buildup and back up into the house. Occasionally you will see a cabin that just has a black stovepipe coming through the wall and then it elbows and goes upward. Don't do that. That is not a chimney, and with that type of setup, you're flirting with disaster. Now, before we moved up here, a friend of mine had a black pipe going through the wall, and I told him, "You're going to burn your house down." He didn't believe me. I kept telling him, "Change that out, do this, invest the money. You're going to burn your house down." A year and a half later, his house burned down. Okay? If you're going to burn wood, this is not a place to skimp. Spend the money and do it right. It'll save your life and your cabin, okay? And when you have a pipe coming out and it elbows up, creosote's going to fall down, and where's it going to land? Right in the elbow. And it's going to start necking down that pathway. And without having a T where you can clean this out, cleaning out that elbow is not a simple task because everything gets glued together with the creosote. If your pathway is starting to clog up and you're neglecting to clean it out, one of these times you might be in bed at night or away and your fire's burning and a whole bunch of creosote falls down and blocks that pathway. All that smoke's going to back up into your house. It could become disastrous or even deadly. Don't have an elbow here. Always have a T and a method that you can clean it out like this. My project's done for the day. No worries. Now, from what little I've shown you, I'm sure you'll agree that there's pros and cons to both methods of installation. My personal preference is to go straight up through the roof whenever possible, but to make that possible, my roof and roofing material need to offer me a safe and convenient method for cleaning it. The harder it is for you to clean your chimney, the less it will be cleaned, and a neglected chimney will be a troublesome one. If you're going to burn wood, your chimney is not the area to be skimping in. So I hope this answers all the questions that you had. In the description below, you will find links to the insulated chimney pipe and the through-the-wall kit that I've always used. If you find the information in this video to be beneficial, please share it with a friend. You may help someone from making a costly mistake and may even save a few lives in the process. So I guess that's it for now, folks, and all the best with your building project.
That's just good backwoods logic.
Frankie and the boss out walking in the woods, living life happy and free. Tracks in the snow everywhere they go, there's a pokey way up in that tree. A beaver built a pond where they have some fun, taking life a day at a time. Best friends until the end, Frankie and the boss, Frankie and the boss, Frankie and the boss.